Spirit of love. I'm opening, I'm opening, I'm opening to the Spirit of love. Let the love flow through me. Let the love flow through me. Let the love flow through me. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening to the Spirit of love. I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening to the Spirit of love. Let the love flow through me. 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 Oh, I'm opening. I'm opening. I'm opening to the Spirit. Holy, Holy Spirit. Holy, Holy Spirit. I'm opening. I'm opening. And I let the love flow through me. 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 I'm opening to the Spirit, Holy Spirit, to the Spirit, Holy Spirit. I'm opening.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Reverend John Riley, and I have the joy of serving as your senior minister, and it's so wonderful to see you here this morning with me here in the sanctuary. And for those of you who are watching live on our live stream or during the week, know that you're in our hearts and in our prayers, and that we are all in the right place at the right time right now. Yes? Unity is a global spiritual community welcoming people from all walks of life. People who are seeking a deeper experience of spirit, a greater sense of health, wholeness, and abundance. People looking for spiritual growth, transformation, and to do life better. We teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed this morning to have with us Casey Wicker as our platform leader today, Margot LeDuc as our soloist, Russell Norman on piano, Ron E. Beck on drums, And so we'll begin our service with our opening song. I'll invite you all to stand as Margot leads us.
Alrighty. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message louder. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. All right. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. I want to love you more. Love you more. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. I want to know you more. I want to know you more. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. I want to serve you more. I want to serve you more. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you.
Yes, our wonderful musicians. I was just so excited to come on up. I was going to be your backup singer there for a sec. Well, welcome, everyone. Yes. Well, we are part of a worldwide movement. Whoa, okay? It's not just us. We are part of a worldwide movement, this energy that teaches us 5 core principles to guide us on our spiritual path. The first principle is God is. There is only one presence, one power active in our life. Only one presence, one power active in our life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. And it doesn't matter if you call it God, isness, love, universe, because guess what? Our second principle says you're it. It's the I am. That this substance, this energy, and this intelligence is in every person and in all creation. And the third principle, so we have all this energy in us, so our mind action is important to know that thoughts and mind produce after their kind. We have the ability to affect our world. And so the fourth is really important, to spend that time in prayer and meditation, because that grounds us and connects us in that constructive power of God to move in and through us as us. Yes, yes? Yes, yes. And then we can't stay on the mat. Nope. We got to get up, because that's our fifth principle. That is the practice, the daily practice. For as we practice these principles daily, we open to that magnificence we are. Yes, yes? Yeah, and life gets better. Now, these 5 core principles, they guide us on our vision statement. So take a deep breath, because we're going to say this together and be grounded in it. So together, centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all. And so it is.
Lord, build me a house. Build me a house of prayer. Lord, build me a house. Build me a house of prayer. Lord, build me a house. Build me a house of prayer. Oh, Lord, build me a house. Build me a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Fire of my altar never burn out. No, Lord, build me a house. Build me a house of prayer. A house of prayer.
Today's daily word is healing. I'll read the affirmation first and then invite you to affirm it with me. Divine life lives as me. I am whole and well. Together, divine life lives as me. I am home and well. When I am experiencing a healing need, I focus my thoughts beyond illness and discomfort. Even as I seek treatment for the injury or illness, I see myself as whole. I remember that I am created in the image according to the likeness of God. I know my life is God's life, living as me. Divine life fills every cell, strengthening every muscle, bone, and organ, and quickens every nerve in my body. It restores perfect order to all my body's functions, releasing and replacing anything unlike itself. When someone asks me to pray with them, I do not ask about their symptoms or circumstances. I affirm the healing activity of divine life in each one with whom I pray. I see them as spiritual beings that they are, whole and well. In John chapter 1, verse 4, "In him was life, and the life was the light of all people."
I need you. You need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. I pray for you, you pray for me. I love you, I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you, I need you to survive. I pray for you, sing it with me. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. With words from my mouth, I love you, I love you, I love you. I need you, I need you, I need you, I need you to survive.
Good morning, Unity. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Our evolutionary purpose statement here is we are transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. I'm going to say that one more time, then invite you to affirm it with me. I am transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. Together, I am transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. I got caught up in my own self. So feel that, take that in, because that's really what we're here for. We are here to be with each other, to support each other, to hold each other in prayer, in affirmative prayer, to hold each other in our hearts, and to be that energy that uplifts one another. That's really the whole idea of what this church thing is, the spiritual center thing is to be with one another. And so together we transform lives. Together we inspire people to make a positive difference in the world, and together we make a positive difference in the world. So what does the word transcend really mean? So this is the idea of changing, really, that to transform is to change the nature of something, to make it more, usually better, right? To transform something. Spiritual transformation, then, is to change the nature of our being, is to change our consciousness, your beingness in the world. That's what spiritual transformation is all about. It's how we are in the world. And when we are coming from that perspective, from that higher self, that noble self, then we are doing life better. Then we are making a difference in the world. And so here we're looking at that idea to opening up more to the nature of that noble self, to our own internal self, to open up a little bit more so we can experience it and express it more in the world. And that's really what this whole thing is about, in my view. So why is that important? Because I'm the pastor. I was actually asking a different question. Not why is it important that I think that, but why is it, that's a beautiful answer, why is it important for us to be willing to transform, be willing to move into a space? And so I was doing a little research about what life is like right now. Anybody have a clue? Anybody experience it? It's fabulous. It is, and it's changed. Life has changed. Life is evolving. Culture is evolving. Culture is shifting. And it has been happening since the end of World War II. And this recent COVID-19 pandemic has just accelerated it. But during that last 5 years, feels like 20 years. 3 years, thank you. During that last 3 years only, life has changed so much. The effects of it were on us individually, on us culturally, and on us globally. Now, I did some research, and there were a few things that I found out there from Pew Research. And one of the projects, this was from March of 2003, the coronavirus pandemic has been associated with worsening mental health among people in the United States and around the world. A Gallup poll in May of this year says that depression is at its highest rate in the U.S. since it started measuring depression in 2015. And in fact, it's higher now than it was at the peak of the depression. This is not just isolated to the U.S., for the Gallup poll said globally, nearly 4 in 10 adults ages 15 or older either endure significant depression or anxiety themselves or have a close friend or family member who suffers from it. So 40% of us are either have some form of it or know somebody, and that affects us too. So this is why it is so important. This is why it is so important for us to look at this idea of transformation, of changing our consciousness, of growing into it. I found another article, this is by the Mayo Clinic, this is from July of this year. Worry and anxiety about COVID-19 and its impact can be overwhelming. So this was a wonderful article that tells us some things that we can do to help us support each other and ourselves during this pandemic. So listen to some of these ideas. First, it's care of body. And what they say is to relax and recharge. That's one of the things that they want you to do. Now, many of the things that they tell you in this article are very much instructions, right? Go do this, go do that. This one, they backed off a little bit. They said, well, many people benefit from the practice such as deep breathing, Tai Chi, yoga, mindfulness, or meditation. Now, we have many people in here that practice those. Would you agree with that statement? Yeah, so there's our own informal poll. Right? There's a lot of people. These are the practices that they suggest, for one of the practices that they suggest to help us remain calm, remain present, and remain in the moment. Care of mind. Their highlight on that is reducing your triggers. And one of the things that they talk about is focusing on positive thoughts, focusing on the good in life. So in Unity, of course, that's one of our fundamental cornerstones, is focusing on the good, but not to the extent of shutting down or ignoring that which is disturbing us, not ignoring that which we are suffering from or the pain that we're feeling, right? But to honor that and to bring that into the light so that it can be healed. If you've been part of the Quantum Living class, or the Q class, or the Art and Practice of Living with Nothing and No One Against You, yes, it's have 100 names, 3. But one of the practices is to honor, to recognize, oh, I'm triggered. I'm triggered. And so what can I do to disassemble, to reduce the effect of that trigger? Forgiveness practices is another one of Unity's fundamental practices that helps us move into that idea of reducing our triggers. That is, it's the idea of emptying our file cabinet. I love Dr. Luskin's book, Forgive for Good. He talks about unforgiveness as we have this big file cabinet, and anytime you do something to me, it goes into my file cabinet. And then whenever something happens again, I pull open the file. Oh, yes, let's see. Here you are. And here's everything coming up again. And forgiveness, real forgiveness, is reclaiming our power. Forgiveness is emptying that file cabinet. It's not ignoring what happened. It's just knowing that this does not control me anymore. I don't have to pull out that big file and say, this is our relationship, because it's not. It allows us to let go of those things and to be in our relationship without being a doormat, of knowing our spiritual boundaries, but taking back our power, our individual power, so that we feel that sense of empowerment and wholeness in the moment. And of course, let's see, the third major component in this article was the idea of connecting with others. So to combat that anxiety, to back that depression, connecting with others. Now, how has your connection changed in the last 3 years? Has it changed at all? Have you felt, we're doing more things online, or the way we connect with each other is a little bit different? Even now that we feel like we may be coming out of it, right? There's still a little hesitance within us. And so I believe that this form of connection isn't just any ordinary form of connection. It's not going on an app, right, and finding someone who has your same color hair. I don't know. It's about making a conscious connection, about making an authentic connection. It's about making connections that help us really develop each other in the process. Avoid stigma, discrimination. For me, that's really the sense of other. Anytime we think about this idea of, well, they're like this, that's the other that we're making wrong. And that creates separation between us. That creates division between us. Not just the beliefs that we might have that differ, but just that idea that we're different from each other creates separation. So for me, it's that idea of growing compassion, growing self-compassion, knowing that we have a common humanity, knowing that we have a commonality in this idea of our divine nature. We may express it differently or not at all. We may express it beautifully or sometimes not. And yet at the core of us, that's who we are, is that beautiful, divine, noble self, that beautiful nature. And so as the new culture emerges, whether it's a culture of transformation, of stagnation, or of degradation, culture is changing. And so we have the opportunity for us to be at the forefront of that change and to lead that change from a sense of knowing ourselves, from the sense of knowing that we are here to do life better together. Now, the Apostle Paul was in Corinth, and he was really excited to get to Rome because there was a group of people following the way, right, following the way that the master teacher Jesus was teaching or had taught. And he was really excited to go to Rome to minister to them, to talk with them. So he wrote a big book. He wrote a giant letter. And that letter was then taken by courier to Rome, to the people there. And he was so excited because he was first going to go to Jerusalem, and then some other place, Spain, I think, and then over to Rome. Well, he got into Jerusalem, and he was immediately arrested. He did make it to Rome, but he made it to Rome as a prisoner. So he never got to minister to those people. He never got to get in front of them and really be with them, commune with them, to pray with them, to teach with them, to grow with them. That was his dream. He didn't make it there, but his letter did. And I have to tell you, this is one of the most powerful letters when you look at it from a consciousness of spirituality. When you look at it from the realm of, and we can look at it metaphysically, but from the realm of spirituality, the first part of the letter was all about righteousness. Now, in Unity, what we term righteousness is right thinking. That's when our thoughts are in alignment with Spirit. Our thoughts are in alignment with the good in life. Our thoughts are in alignment with that which is uplifting. That's right thinking. And so the first part of the letter was, there's a need for that. Would anyone disagree with that? And he was talking about how, that was a bad teaching moment there. I didn't raise my hand and then ask you the negative question. Anyway, back to the story. Right? There is a need for that in our life. We can see that today. The second part of the letter is that it is provided. It is there for you. This energy, these teachings, Spirit, divine love, the harmonizing energy of Spirit, God, however you want to talk about God as consciousness, as the whole of consciousness, as the universe, as divine mind, as infinite intelligence, infinite possibility, the realm from which all things are possible. It is there and provided and ready for you. And the third part of it was it will win out. It is what is emerging. It is what is unfolding. And it will unfold in you if you let it, if you allow it. It's there within you, whether you like it or not. For God is always present. As Casey said, God is in you wherever you are and in all around you. God is in you like the ocean is in the wave, as Eric Butterworth would say. Or as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, enlightenment is the wave realizing it's the ocean. Right? That's the truth of you. And so when we allow it, it will lift you up. It will be, it will buoy you up in times of trouble. It will be the anchor when the wind is blowing. It is that within you that is. And the fourth part of that letter was, well, how do you do that? It was all about the practice. It was all about putting it into practice. At the very beginning of chapter 12, Paul tells us, be willing to live, serve, and love. Be not conformed by this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect and the will of God. There's nothing else. This is like the primary thing you need to do. Be willing to transform your thoughts. Be willing to align yourself with the presence and power. Be willing to be with each other in doing that. Later on in that letter, in that part of the letter, he talks about the body of Christ, meaning we are the body of this intelligence. We are the body of this consciousness. For we are the people who come together, and when we come together from that standpoint, we give it power. Where two or more are gathered, I will be there too. That energy that flows between us. And so how do we do this? That's always the big question. And I always try to give some practice that you can do to play with for the week, to see how it lifts you up, to see if it works with you, to see how it buoys you up. But the first part of the practice is being willing. Is simply being willing. Because I know all of the pushback. I have all of the pushback. I don't have enough time. I've got too many things on my plate. I've got to take the kids to dance and football and dance and football. And I've got to do all of these things. Anybody else? I've got my work task list. I've got my home task list. I've got to do the laundry. Anyone else have these lists, or is it just me? Am I the only one doing things in the world? Yeah, we're all doing stuff, because that's what we're all about in this Western culture, doing. So when we can get back to the beingness and taking time to practice that beingness, then that beingness shows up in all we do. It becomes the energy that lifts us up, that makes things fun, even the laundry. Hey, I love the laundry. What are you talking about? I used to take all my shirts to get dried, to get washed and laundered and starched and pressed. And then they didn't do it the way I liked to do it. So I started doing it myself. I remember my mom. She had her ironing board and the big rack of shirts. Well, that's me. I love it. I turn on the TV. I listen to a podcast. I'm ironing my shirts. It fills me up. I know, it's crazy, huh? What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? Why does it fill me up? Anyone? Because I'm willing. Because I'm making a choice. I'm saying, I'm choosing this. So I'm not just doing something out of habit, I'm doing it as a spiritual practice. Even the laundry, even ironing my shirt. Everything can be a spiritual practice when we choose to look at it through that lens of spirit. Being willing, making the choice, and practicing it. Now, today, those are the three main components when we're doing it ourselves. And I think one that we have been missing is this idea of being together, of doing it together. Because when two or more are gathered, greater things appear. Have you had that dialogue where you're bouncing ideas off of one another, and all of a sudden there's a greater sense of what you want to accomplish? There's a greater idea that pops up. After being together, there might be a week later, it's like, oh, now I remember what was said, and that lifts me up. Have you ever had that experience? We had a meeting with our platform team. It was an envisioning meeting. And it was with Casey, Rusty, Joe, Lisa. And we came together to let go of anything and everything that we thought was wrong or broken first. To let go of all of that lack. To let go of that sense of not enough. To let it go and then just envision what the experience can be like here for each other. We had a full whiteboard full of ideas. And some of those ideas we glossed over, and I wanted to get back to them. So we got another meeting coming up. Maybe through email, maybe after the holidays, because I've got too much on my plate. But being willing to practice together, to come together, it fulfills that need of creating real connections with each other, to creating a relationship that helps lift us out of whatever funk that we're in. It fulfills that need of growing spiritually so that we can bounce ideas off of each other and allow that to really take hold within us and create an inner connection between us. When we practice together, we create something greater than ourselves, and we grow. I was on my class. I'm taking a class called the Integral Ministry Practice. It's taking integral theory and applying, which is a whole book, a whole set of books, and applying it to ministry. And in that, we were having this discussion. one person was on this end of the spectrum, another person was on that end of the spectrum, a couple of us were right in the middle, and everything was okay. We didn't make one person right or one person wrong. We just allowed the perspectives to be. We allowed it to be, and we took in what was ours to take in. And on one side, I was probably leaning more on one side of the spectrum, and after I thought about it more, I could understand his point of view. And I can see how that point of view makes sense from a specific perspective. And it shifted my perspective, not to agree with him, but just to have a broader sense of what I'm experiencing and how I can then apply that in my life, and how I can bring that into my life. That's the power of having this interconnected togetherness. And so that brings me to our fall program. A fall enrichment program. It's been about 3 years since we've had one. And we're doing it a little bit differently this year. So everyone take a nice deep breath while I get a drink of water. Come on, keep breathing. It is one of our practices, after all. The main difference is we usually use a book, and there's some great books out there. And what kept coming to me is, that's really deep and heavy. That's really deep and heavy. All good, but really deep and heavy. And what came to me in my time of discernment was, we need to lift us up a little bit more. We need to come together a little bit more. We need to practice the idea of coming together. And so I borrowed the format from the Unity Center in San Diego, which is a very successful, one of the largest Unity churches in the country, and just a fabulous program. And they do their spiritual programs based on the talk. So I said, okay, let's try that. So I came up with a really light idea for the topic. You ready? Evolving out of not enough. Yeah, that's light. That's easy. So here's the thing. Here's what came to me. Here's what, we have some of the best, I think, some of the best spiritual teachings around. Unity, New Thought Movement, we have great tools. Our abundance teachings are fantastic. But then why don't we always use it? The fundamental practice of prayer and meditation is foundational for me. And when you do it consistently, time and time again, you feel the benefits. And for me, it has become a non-negotiation, a non-negotiated task or activity. It's something that I'm always going to do because I know the benefits. And it didn't come to me the first time I meditated, but it came after practice and practice and practice. And I had some aha moments during meditation when I was in my youth. And I saw it and I felt it and I said, this is it. Unity is it. But why don't we practice it more? Any of the teachings. Why do we fall back into our old patterns? Why do we slip back into our old belief system? Because underlying that is a sense of not enough. And it's cultural. It's how we grew up. Especially in this culture where you have to do, achieve, achieve, achieve. So next week we're going to start this program, and it will kick it off with a Sunday service. And if you want to join a group, a small group, to practice, then there's some sign-up sheets in the Yes Hall when we go in there for our lunch. And if you're worried about it, here's what I have out in the Yes Hall. There's a flyer called Evolving Out of Not Enough, and it tells you everything about the experience. We used to have a booklet, and this was part of the booklet. Now you're going to get the booklet 1 week at a time. You okay with that? All right, that's a quorum. So what are we going to do? Well, there is a suggested agenda for each program. You're going to come together. You're going to read the heart agreements together. You're going to have an opening prayer, and the opening prayer is on the weekly guide. You can use it, or you can use your own. But here's an opening prayer. It will have the ideas, and so you'll review the heart agreements. You'll have an opening prayer together. You will check in personally in your group. Here's what's going on. And then you can have a discussion about the talk. And each week you're going to get questions about the talk. Questions that will help you dive into, not what did John say, but how does this show up in your life? When have you experienced this in your life? To help you deepen your experience of this idea, these ideas that come forward, so that then you can come together and talk about those ideas and wrestle with those ideas and have your different opinions and say, I don't know what the heck he's talking about, and be okay with that, because someone in the group can give you some guidance or can say, well, here's what I experience in that process, in that question, in that idea, so that we can grow together and learn together and create connection together and pray with each other and and affirmatively pray with each other. There's a discussion about the talk question. There's a wrap-up and any announcements that there may be. There's a closing prayer, also included if you'd like it. And then there's refreshment and social time. That's the basic structure. And everyone is invited to participate. Helping, making sure that everyone has an opportunity to speak. If you want an opportunity to pray in front of somebody, this is the perfect opportunity to pray in front of somebody. And what a gift it is, even if you don't feel comfortable doing it. What a gift it is to serve someone else. There is a rabbinic tradition called, and I'm going to not pronounce it correctly, but Shavruta. It's a rabbinic tradition, an approach to Talmudic study, to really studying the Torah. And it's a study in which small groups of students intentionally argue with one another to find meaning from a text through the passionate conflict discussion. Usually, it's done in pairs, and some of the people have the same partner for their entire lives. Other times, it's a one-off, or it's a turn to the person next to you type of thing. Now, we're Unity, so we don't like arguing, and that's okay. But just think about this idea of wrestling with these concepts, wrestling with this idea that culture is changing, wrestling with the idea that I'm made in the divine image, that I have this noble self to me, wrestling in this idea of how we connect with one another, and talking with it so that we can grow and experience a greater sense of knowing. So the talk guide, the talk reflections, I have a talk reflection from last week's service as a sample. They're available in the Yes Hall as well. And here's the thing, show up as you are. Show up who you are. That's the wonderful thing about Unity, is that we are open and welcoming to all people. To show up as you are. Because we're not going to judge you, right? You're not going to judge each other. That's the goal, and that's the practice. That's one of the practices. How can we not judge each other? Those heart agreements on the back, that's spiritual practice as well. How can you live into that agreement that I'm going to honor what you're saying to me? I'm going to honor how you show up and who you are, and not have to put on my alter ego or my religious persona. Now, it sounds hard. It sounds uncomfortable. I've never prayed in front of somebody out loud. I've never led a group. Right? I don't have enough time. If you don't want to do it, these will still be available for your own personal growth if you'd like. But what a gift it is to another for you to show up for them. For you to show up for another person, to be present to their questions, to their spirit, to their heart, as they open their heart. What a gift it is. And what a gift they are giving you by being present, by opening their home, by opening their Zoom, whatever it is, just to be present with one another, to come together and to see how we can start to evolve out of this idea of not enough. So I go back to the beginning. Are you willing? Spiritual transformation can take a lifetime or it can take moments. And when we release our inner doubt, our sense of not enough, we shift into the mindset of possibility. And we are exercising our innate power of faith. So by stepping into this process, into the Fall Enrichment Program, that's what you're doing. And if not, if it's not time, if it's not ready, if you can't make it, if you got a trip, that's okay too. You can still receive all of the reflection questions and do it on your own time. So are you willing to shift into your mindset from not enough to the possibilities? Are you willing to move your feet and to try it, to test things out? Are you willing to live more from your purpose, live more purposeful, and as a result feel more content and more grateful? For as you do, the world of possibilities will open up to you, and you will make a positive difference in the world. I'm not sure if I updated the affirmation on the screen, so I'm going to read it to you and then invite you to affirm it with me. Nope, that's not the one. You can get rid of that one, Felix. That was last week. So this week, I say yes. So just think about that. I say yes, if not to this program, but to your own spiritual growth, to your own transformation. I say yes. I say yes to the transformation of my mind, and I make a positive difference in the world. I'll read it one more time. I say yes to the transformation of my mind, and I make a positive difference in the world. Together? I say yes to the transformation of my mind, and I make a positive difference in the world. You can't help but make a positive difference in the world when you lift yourself up and come from the heart. Come from that place of love. You are innately making a positive difference in the world. Let's take that into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. I'll invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath and close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or soften your gaze as we shift out of the outer world of senses to the inner world of spirit. I invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath and relax. Any stress or strain in our thoughts, our emotions, our bodies, we just simply breathe and allow it to release. As we breathe into our heart space, we bring to mind something that we truly appreciate. A sense of connection, of knowing spirit. The love of a pet, the warm water lapping on your feet on a beach. Feeling that sensation of gratitude and appreciation well up within you. We express this energy of love, this energy of togetherness, connectedness, oneness. We see it in each other's smiles. We see it in our eyes. We see it in our hug. We feel it all around us. Breathing into this present moment, we are grateful. We allow this energy to flow from us with ease and grace in the stillness of the silence. feeling that love in our heart, sensing the energy of divine love, the harmonizing energy of Spirit as it moves in, through, and as us. We extend it out into the world. We bless our prayer chest and all of the prayers in it that have come in online or in person. If there's somebody who you hold in prayer, I invite you to say their name out loud now or bring their name to mind. For all of the prayers that we hold in our hearts, we know that divine love is doing its perfect work here and now, lifting each person up to discover that spiritual magnificence within them. We send this energy out into the world as we bless our planet and all of humanity in it. We bless all of creation from the center of our planet to the outer edges of our atmosphere and beyond. We are the harmonizing, healing energy of Spirit in action. And so we allow that energy to flow from us. And as it does, we are blessed. We are grateful. And we celebrate by singing the Alleluia. And with a nice deep cleansing breath, we return our attention to this time and this space, and gently opening our eyes and allowing that feeling of upliftment, of energy, of love to permeate you and be your guide today. Our transformational, our evolutionary purpose statement is transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. That's what we're here for. That is the focus of our being. And now is the time in the service where we ask that you support that purpose statement, that you support our spiritual center in living that out. You know, during the summer times, I know there's an ebb and flow in people and money during this time, and our finances tend to take a dip. So if you have the ability to make a donation now, you can, there are many ways in which you can do it. You can make a donation in the back with the silver box in the back, placing your love offering in there. You can use the QR code to donate online and securely. But however you decide to give with love, for it's the manner in which we give to the world that we receive from it. The affirmation that we say is on the screen, and I invite you to affirm it with me. Together, divine love from me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. I like it. That would have been a good story.
One day, all my life I've been praying for our people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day. One day
Today is today here at Unity Palo Alto. Yes, yes? Because we are so blessed sharing this energy together, this change, feeling the transformation in our hearts and souls already. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. And it doesn't stop here. No, it doesn't. There's lots of community connection, so many things happening. The first today, our amazing board of trustees, they're practicing change. They're not holding their meeting on a Monday, right? It used to be a Monday. They're holding it today so we can all take part. That's going to be in the Yes Hall, just straight down at 11:30. And there's going to be opportunity and time to connect and share. So just, go check it out. They do amazing work holding the high watch. And there's going to be a lunch, so that kind of places our lunch brunch today. Oh, that's a lot to say. So no lunch brunch, but they're going to provide lunch, so go and connect and share and take part in the meeting. And I'm really excited that our pet blessing is coming back. Yay! Bring your puppies, your kitties, the guinea pigs. Bring them. We're going to bless them, bless them, bless them. And this year, we are doing a new thing. We're collecting new stuffed animals, and they're going to be donated, and they're going to be part of our blessing. So all of our good energy is going to be part of those little stuffed animals. So please have a basket in the back. You can bring your stuffed animals. The blessing is October 14th at 2 o'clock. I am looking for a couple of people just to help set up or maybe bring a treat together, so let me know. But take part however you can, as much as you can. And on October 1st, our own Eric Armstrong will be starting Energy Flow Yoga Meditation from 12 to 2 on Sundays, except for the fourth Sunday. And it's a yoga that anyone can do and benefit from. The group will meet in the trees in the parking lot on the side, and in winter they'll meet in the fireside room. So come check that out. It's for everyone. And on deck for our pickup parties, October 7th, Chef Paul is stirring up some flavorful soups and stews. And I hear there's going to be a fabulous dessert as well. Let's see, and the 15th at 2, there's going to be a pizza party with live music by Polo Jones. He does our sound and friends. It's going to be in a beautiful, intimate setting in Santa Cruz. Carpooling is going to be arranged. So check it out. There's not a table in the courtyard, so you're going to have to check out online, unitypaloalto.org/activities. Can you get that up there for us, Felix? Yeah, that one. And so check it out there, and check out all our social media channels. There are so many ways to connect and share the good news that is Unity Palo Alto. So today is the fourth Sunday of the month, a time that we get to bless each other. So I'm going to ask you to stand, and we're going to face the center. And as you do, I just want you to you're going to be peering in, seeing the goodness, seeing the love, and sharing that energy. And on the flip side, somebody's going to be seeing you, and seeing your goodness and sharing the love. So together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the light in you. Yes, yes. Okay, and we're going to do our prayer piece, but before we do that, this is a little challenging. Our prayer chaplains, can you give a little wave, and I'll point out where you're at? There's a chaplain, and there's a chaplain. If you are in need of prayer, our prayer chaplains are here to lovingly listen and hold that space with you. So grateful for this energy you share with our community. So you can seek them out where they're at after service. Okay, let's sing our song of peace.
Family
And now our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Love and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you for lunch at the board meeting.
Have a great week, everybody.